Hello. In this session, I'm going to be discussing secure shell software, in particular SSH daemon, SSH client, and scopy client. And we're going to discuss how to transfer files between Linux, Unix, and Windows. And sometimes we may transfer files between Linux to Unix servers or Linux to Linux workstation or Linux to Solaris, a Unix operating system, or Linux to Mac or Mac to Mac, or Unix to Unix, or Windows to Linux or Windows to Unix. For any purpose that you use the secure shell software, this software is so great, so robust for security purpose, and then it provides you all the needs for transferring files, secure copy, secure FTP, secure SSH, connecting to a remote server. So it does have a lot of software. I'm going to be discussing all of them on this session. Please stay tuned. I'll show you also in lab activities, and I will demo how to do transfer files between Unix and Linux, and between Linux to Windows and Windows to Linux and Windows to Unix. In fact, you can transfer files between all these platforms, whether it's Linux to Linux or Linux to Unix or Linux to Windows, using a different software that are capable of doing secure shell, secure SSH, secure scopy. Some of the client that we have been using it on the Linux and Unix is called secure shell, and the daemon is called SSHD. This D stands for secure shell daemon that runs as a server, and then the client software is called secure shell. This is the client to SSH to a server, a Linux server or Unix server. You don't SSH to a Windows machine. You normally remote desktop to a machine. The software that allows you to remote desktop between Windows machine is called Microsoft Terminal Service Console, and then MST-SC, and then that one, or a remote desktop, and you just type in remote desktop at the run, and then you just get connected to by authenticating to the server. So this is normally a secure shell could be enabled by authenticating to a LDAP authentication, via LDAP authentication, or via two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication is more robust and more secure because it uses the RSA key, which has a private public key. And then through this software, it enables you to do a number of security related task that you could do between a client in a server or a client to another workstation, or between two peers or server to server, or in the cloud. You could just use it for a number of ways. It is way too secure to do network transfer files, especially if you're doing two-factor authentication. The LDAP authentication or local password authentication related files that requires login and password, that is also secure. However, if you want to make it so robust and so secure, you need to set up two-factor authentication, which is in addition to the authentication login password. It also asks you for a PIN number or a secure soft token, which is the RSA token. You can have a physical token, or you can have a soft token. And the soft token is basically you can download it to your laptop or desktop, or actually you can download it on even your cell phone. So you can just use that one. The cell phone well updated. We have been using it for a while, maybe 20 years or less. So it is very good software, and it is going to give a lot of tools. Let's go through the discussion of what I'm going to be discussing today. I'm gonna talk about the secure shell daemon, which is the actual server process that will be spawned on port 22 by default. You can configure it to listen to other ports, but you normally configure it on port 22. The SSH client that which connects to the port 22 as a client, and then it makes connection, and then you SSH secure shell, and by default you log into the server if you have authenticated login password, valid secure ID that you can log in. Then you're going to just browse and run a programming language like Python or C, C++, run an application, go to a website, or whatever you want to do after you remote desktop or remote secure shell on a Linux machine. Then you are able to do that one. The secure copy is one of the client software that comes with secure shell software. S-copy, it's called S-copy. For the older version, people were using a lot of the different remote copy or copy as RSH, restricted secure shell in Telnet and other ones, but none of those software were secure. They were all text-based, and then it was going and clear text, so they stopped, everybody stopped using it with introduction to TCP/IP on the Windows and Linux servers, so in workstation. And secure shell software, including the Bitwise secure shell software that you can install on any Windows machine, enable you to do the secure copy between Windows and Unix servers. So if you have to upload files from a Windows server to the Linux server, you use S-copy. All it does require is the source and destination changes. And then if you do download to a Windows machine, you from a Linux server, the destination becomes the Windows machine, but you still use the Bitwise SSH and S-copy software to do those tasks. The next thing that I'm going to be discussing is the secure shell daemon config file, and that one is sshd_config file on the etc SSH directory. I'll discuss that one, and also I'll discuss a SSH client config file, which is ssh_config on the same directory that I mentioned, etc SSH by default. So I want to just make sure that you understand that this is between Linux to Unix servers, or Windows to Linux server, or Windows to Unix server. The Unix server could be a Solaris operating system, could be a FreeBSD, could be a IREX, could be Mac OS X. All of those ones are a Unix platform. Or it could be a Linux server, could be Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS, any of those ones, OpenSUSE, and then Rocky. There's a number of them that we have been using them, and you're going to be able to do so. The Bitwise software also allow you to use your Windows machine to secure shell to a Linux or Unix machine or a Mac machine, as long as you have an IP address and host name, DNS is registered to that IP address, or you could use a LAN local area network IP address, and you can go by the IP address and connect to that server. So I'll show you a demo. Don't go anywhere. I want to just thank you for watching this video, and then I'm going to also expect you to watch our other videos and subscribe to our channel, and then I really appreciate it. But now we're going to go through the demo, so don't go anywhere. I'm going to show you the demo on the site. This was the site that I showed you to register for and watch the videos. It's called at YouTube, it's at MyWebUniversity is the channel handle. So my channel is called MyWebUniversity, and as you can see, it's youtube.com/@MyWebUniversity. And currently I'm on videos, that's why it shows the videos. These are all the list of videos that I have posted. There's about more than 1.2K of videos, and there's currently 1,200 something, 2 or 22 subscribers, 1,200 something. So I really appreciate your subscription, because that tells me that my purpose of serving you is going to just be nice, and it's going to work, and I will inspire a lot of students and future generation, and they will learn from it, and then I will do a good job helping you, so you can help yourself and your family get a great job, and then serving your community, and God bless you all. So let me just go back to the lab session, and I'll show you. So I have a virtual machine here. On the virtual machine, as you can see, I'm running a number of them, because this host, I'm going to log into my Windows host operating system. I'm going to type in CMD. So I just open a command prompt on Windows. And as you can see on Windows, Microsoft Windows command prompt is build version 10. But the actual system is Windows 11 Professional Edition. You can see from this output, it says Microsoft Windows 11 Professional. If I change this find to find a string, I will find more matches, because it searches for everything with OS. Also, it will searches for anything by the name. So OS name is Microsoft Windows 11 Professional, the build version, and everything. I can get all the details from here, as well as if I clear my screen and run this other command and search for memory. So to find out how much memory I have, why it is important to have more memory is because I'm running virtual machine, as I showed you here, and I could just run this one, which is Red Hat, and then I'm also running Solaris. For this purpose, I'm running two of them. And notice that Solaris is about 8 gig on memory, and then the Linux Red Hat is also about 8 gig. So 16 gig, I'm going to allocate for that one out of that 32 gig here. So when I have been running them physically, and there's at least available 10 gig is available, the other ones are used, right? So what I could do is say, well, operating system, the host operating system is that great at running. Let's look at the model, because what is important on your resources is a memory, and as well as the processor speed. So I have a mini computer. It's Intel 64-bit processor with 8 cores, and then it has IT 11 generation with Intel Core 7. So if I just go here also and say device manager, when I click on the device manager here, I could see all my devices, all my resources. One of the resources that I want to show you here, the processor. So when I click, double click on the processor, you can see I have a processor Intel 7 here, 11 generation, but it is 8 cores with 3.4 gigahertz, each one of them. So that's plenty of speed on the processor, and then on top of it, all other resources in terms of hard disk and everything else, I have enough, so I don't have to worry about running this system there. And here, there's the directory called Windows, sorry, virtual machines. Directory store virtual machines. So this virtual machine directory here, if I go to virtual VMS, so I can abbreviate that one to just say the CD to that directory, or I could put it within code, the space, or virtual tilde 1, that would take me there. But many ways you could do it. So I just went there. Notice here, I have a number of virtual machine. Rocky, and then Rocky Clone, MyWebUniversity, which is Ubuntu, Red Hat, and all of that. Solaris, everything. So algorithm is Red Hat. So this is each one of them, the entire VMDK file and everything. On each one of them, the files are there. So if I say, show me for algorithm, the directory, you can see all the VMDK files that are just taking it. The largest one is the actual VDI file, virtual disk image algorithm. This is just about 21 gig for that size of the VDI file, virtual disk image file. So let's go back here and then show you some software that is already installed. For example, on Windows, I have already installed Bitwise operation. This is the software called Bitwise, a secure shell, and it gives you a very nice graphical interface that I just provide the host name, the login name, and type in the password, and I'm currently logged on. And you see here, I have an option of opening a new terminal. Now I'm on my MyWebUniversity host name, clear screen host name. It is an algorithm on the MyWebUniversity. That is the name, but the actual name is I name it like that so I could log into it, and then I don't want to just advertise the details of my website, so I could log in, and then hackers may just at some point know the host name, obviously, and then get to the IP address, but they have to have login and password in order to do that work there. So here you can see this machine, uname -a, it's a Linux, and then if I say ATC OS release, it is showing me that I'm running Linux Ubuntu, and it is version is 22.04. Long-term support. So on this one, if I go to etc ssh, there's a directory etc ssh, and then if I say list that, it shows all the files that are there. One is that ssh underscore config, and one is sshd underscore config. Okay, so notice that these files are having the information. I'm gonna show this details on my other machine. I'm not gonna do anything on this machine that is my server, but I show you how to use a Bitwise client software, and you can download Bitwise client software on some other video I might have shown there. So just google.com and then say Bitwise for SSH client. When you type in Bitwise SSH client, and it comes in as from bitwise.ssh.com, and then you just do download this client. Once you install it, you get this interface, and then you can log into any server. So if I just need to log into another machine, let's say, for example, here I'm going to log out of that one. So let me just log out of this session, and I could just say at this time I'm going to log out, and then now I'm going to log into a local virtual machine. I'm going to provide my username Wahid, and user, I have to know an IP address or host name. So this is a Linux Red Hat machine that I'm running. Let me log into it. So currently, as you can see, if I clear my screen here, host name is that one, and then cat etc os-release. You can see it is a Red Hat, and it is a Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.3, the latest one that I have upgraded, and then it's a Fedora distribution. And so I could also clear a screen if I want the shorter version. Since it's Red Hat, I could say cat etc os, and instead of os-release, Red Hat -release, because it's the Red Hat release and it shows you a shorter form. But if you want like the other one with OS release and you want to see like a line number to it, you can see a line by line, And then you can see on line 7, this is saying that it's Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And then that Fedora is the distribution, the version is 9.3 and so on. And then where the software is, documentations are there, is line 12. And then that one, access.redhat.com, is where you actually subscribe as a developer. Free account can be created and you can download the software. You can get subscriptions and all the details here. For Red Hat, it requires subscription manager to be enabled. And then, so if I become here, you say subscription dash manager list, it requires me root access, which is sudo access here. So it runs the sudo, and then it tells me that I am subscribed there or not if I just type in the password correctly. So the secure software and everything, sorry. The secure software and everything is going to detect your password. Let me just say sudo su dash. I'm gonna try to become root first. I don't know if I was typing wrong or it is not working. Let me try it again. Maybe I type it correctly before I talk while I'm talking. While I'm talking, you can, I mean, I couldn't think about it correctly. So subscription. So now I have ID as a root, and then I could say, okay, run the subscription manager, and then you give me a list. Subscription manager, subscription manager. And then when you run the subscription manager, let's notice that it says no package metadata was found. Subscription, let me just do subscription manager list. Yeah, looks like some errors is coming. Dash install. Yeah. So some subscription manager is giving me this init Python clear screen from name subscription during handling of the above encryption and other exception occurs. Subscription manager. Let's see, this is something with the software itself. No package metadata was found for subscription clear screen and DNF repo list. DNF clear all. I'm clearing the cache and other ones to see. Yeah, it looks like DNF clear cache. Okay, yeah. Clear cache. Looks like maybe the Python version is having something to do with it. I might have upgraded to 9.3 and that could have caused it. Let's see, Python dash version is 3.11. And so which Python? When you look at which Python file user bin Python, this will show that a symbolic link to Python 3.11, which is correct. And then on Python 3.11, file user bin Python 3.11, and that is also executable. So that's has nothing to do with the subscription manager. Anyway, I'm going to fix that one later. I have to detect to see what went wrong during maybe some upgrades or something. I have to find out what is the problem. I may just have to unsubscribe and resubscribe it. And the way you do that one, you run subscription manager dash clean or clear and then re-register after. Register and then provide the password. But if the software does not require, it still fails this one, I could not even do that one. So what it means is that I have to look it up, this one at access.com site, and they might just have some packages to be reinstalled or rehashed or re-cleaned. I'll do that one. So I'll fix that one. But this has nothing to do with the video in terms of what you're doing it. While I was in the process of Red Hat stuff, I just said for that one requires access to Red Hat for software to be available for you for installation purpose. But the directory that we are going to show you is SSH here. So this directory and then these files are important. Notice that ssh_d.config.d and then ssh_config. And then this is the file for client, for the server side, and this is the client for software configuration for the client side. So if you do more ssh_config, you will see the detail here. And instead of doing more, you can also do a vim on it and then open it and then a nice look and feel for it and just go through them. You can also set a line number so you can see line by line all the information. As you can see, the ones with the pound, they're all commented. And then sometimes you have to uncomment certain things to enable them or disable them. And then you just configure it this way. Usually on the client side, you don't modify too many things. On the server side, you do. On the server side, depending what you need to do is vim etc ssh d_config file. D_config file. And if I put the line number again here, you can see, for example, for X Windows session, in order for you to do X as a session, you have to enable these X11 forwarding. And you just take this one and comment the X11 forward right here from no to yes, you change it to yes, and it's all lowercase yes. Then when you change it, you save it, the file, and then you just restart the SSD, and that will enable it. Okay, I don't need to do those stuff, but I'm just showing you all the configuration of secure shell between the server and the client or between the two machines. So whenever you SSH to a machine, remember when I just wanted to show you the first thing, I wanted to show you, say, okay, when you log into the machine, you say IPA. This IPA is say address. So IP address show would be the same thing. IPA is short, so you can type in. And notice this is the IP address that I want to do. Check it. You can also do IPA and then grep -I inet. So notice that the inet IP address are here, and then this one is the one I don't need the 127. That's the loopback interface, and this is the loopback interface for IP version 6. But this is an IP address that I'm interested, which is in the local subnet, and then I could get that one. If I just need exactly that one, I could say, let's say if you do this one 5 more, and notice that the interface name is ENPS. So you can say, you can also do fconfig, and then you do the command and it will show you all interfaces by default, right? But if I'm interested only on ENPS, so I could say grep -I en, that's good enough. And then I'm going to say grep -I en P0S3. So that way I only get the information for that interface. And then now I can do fconfig ENP0S3. That will just give me exactly the IP address of the machine for this host name, which is for this interface. And if I need to this one, then I could say do a grep minus inet, and that would just give you the two, one for the IP version 6, one for IP version 4. The one I am interested is the first one, which is head -1. And then if I just want exactly, only the second field would be print out by 2 would give me the IP address. And this is like a short version to say send that to an IP address. Then I can send to a file or something and then do whatever I want to do it. So now I have this information. This is 192.168.254.192 for this host. If I want to connect to this machine, which I showed you, it is OS, I'm sorry, Red Hat -release. It is Red Hat 9.3. So I come in on my Windows machine, I connect to that IP address, say 192.168.254.192. Remember, this is a machine. And notice I'm logged on as Wahid. So if I just type in here, ID-UN, it's going to say Wahid. That means I have to, on Bedwise, I have to log in as Wahid here. And then I'm going to click on login. Then it's going to say, do you accept this RSA information fingerprint? And I say yes. And that is read from the private key, public key informations of the server side as well as the client side. I'm going to accept that one, and now it's downloaded on my client side, and that is trusted RSA fingerprint. So at this time, I'm going to type in my password. If I have a valid password on that Linux server, which I do, I'm getting connected. Now I'm connected, it says new terminal. So now if I open a new terminal, remember this screen I was showing you, this is a cat etc Red Hat release. I should be expecting the same thing here. If I say cat etc Red Hat -release, and it is telling me that I'm exactly Red Hat Enterprise 9.3 Pro. So if I'm just here, say ID, clear screen ID-UN, it says Wahid, and then I could also here type in ID-UN, and it tells me that I am this. If I just type in here, who am I? Because I'm Wahid, it will say the same thing. Who am I here, Wahid? And however, right here, if I clear my screen, say who space am I? Notice that says, oh, you're coming from this Windows machine with this IP address connected to it. Here, if I say who am I, it is not going to give me anything because I'm log into the terminal locally. That is my shell. This is my process ID that I run PS command, but this is my bash. So if I say echo $$, you can see I'm connected to the machine through secure shell or through a local terminal. However, here on the Windows side, if I say PS, you can see I'm on a different process ID, and then also echo $$ is going to say that process ID of my bash. So this is on the server side. Now, I told you that SSH D is running here. So if I become root here, sudo and say, why am I becoming root? Let me just explain to you why I'm becoming root. So if I say lsof -I and check for port 22, it is going to say that this is connected, but I don't get too much details aside from this. So now if I say do a sudo and type in my password, become root, and now I'm root. ID-UN says I'm root, so I say lsof -I for interface port 22. Now I get more details. saying that Wahid logged in from a Windows machine through SSH, and then all the details are there, right? So if I just also do a PS minus EFA grep minus I SSH, you can see that I have logged on to that server, and I'm connected through this to this IP address for using the other one that I showed you from the who am I on the server side on Windows. So you can trace it that way. And then there's also command, you could say systemctl status of SSHD. SSH as daemon is the process. So if you do this command is gonna give you, make this one a little bit bigger. You see systemctl status and then SSHD. It is enabled, so that means after reboot, the system will start as SSHD daemon. And it is active running, it's listening on port 22 on the default port, and it is configured. How do I know it is listening to port 22? Because if you say netstat minus an or grep minus I listen, it will show all the ports that are listening. Yet, if I just say grep 22, you can see that port 22 is listening for it. And I could also do like grep minus W for word, so it will just separate only those two. This is for IP version 6, and this is for IP version 4, and it is listening. So if I just want to do SSH here, I could also do, remember the LSOF minus I, and then colon 22, since I know that I'm listening to that one. But why is it configured to do it on port 22? By default, there's a file called etc services. If you grep for -w for 22 on etc services, then you know that port 22, TCP, and UDP protocol are all configured for secure shell client and secure shell daemon. And then that way you can do scopy and SSH everything. So at the same time, if you search for SSH, you will get a lot of them here, all the SSH configuration files. And let's see for the scopy. And all that scopy, whenever you do scopy, you're going through these ports and then connected. But that's a different scopy. This is a scopy configuration for config. Everything else is scopy is going through port 22. So I showed you the daemons on this one. Now we have connected through this one between this machine and that machine. Sometimes you connect from machine to itself. So if I just I'm logged on here and say, how about I open another connection to the machine itself? So I could say SSH minus L wlutfi, not wlutfi, Wahid, and then I could say 192.168.254.192. So this is just going to itself again. If you just do this one and I just log into it, I'm gonna show you if you have to do it between the machine itself. The machine itself has the client software as well as the server side. So now I go PS and I say who. Notice that Wahid is not logged on a number of times. One time I came from a Windows machine, and then the next time I log in from a Linux machine itself, which is this one, and then connected to the SSH. So if I look at that one and say Wahid is logged on, PS minus EF, grep minus I, SSH, you can see the processes that I'm coming from different machine and connecting to it, all of that. You can trace it. But here, if I say who and exit out of one of them, now the session closed, I type in who, notice the one that I had come from 192 disappeared, because that is the IP address. Earlier I showed you that IPA and grep -I 192. You can see that's the IP address of this machine. So when you do this one, -I does not mean anything with the number, because you don't have to say ignore case. The numbers are just number. So whenever you type in, by default, my fingers are just typing it really fast. When I do this one for years, and then I just acknowledge that for numbers, it is no case sensitivity, so you don't have to skip it. But when you type in who here, now I'm logged on only one time to this one. And who am I? It shows me that I'm coming from this IP address. So if I go back on my command prompt of Windows and do a clear screen, and then clear screen is like this on Windows. And so host name, this is algorithm on Windows. You can name anything on your host names. You could give it the name, but whenever the name is tied to an IP address, if it is on the DNS, domain name services, then it has to be unique. You cannot have two host names that are pointing to the same IP address. With that one, that would be IP address conflict, and then on the DNS, it will not be allowed there. But on the local machine, you can give it any name and any IP address. And then since it's local to that machine, it is going to the loopback interface or the local area network. It's not going to conflict as long as you don't have same kind of host name and IP address being used twice. So at this time, I want to show you on Windows how you get that to say this IP address is there. So on Windows also you have IP config command here on the Linux. In addition to IP, you can say fconfig. Fconfig grep -I grep 192. You can get the same output from that also using, instead of this is an older version of fconfig. It is used on Mac, Solaris, Linux, Unix, any platform. This command is available. IP command only is available on Linux, not on Solaris. So that is something that you have to know. But when you do the IP config on Windows, on instead of IP config, you say I'm sorry, instead of fconfig, you say IP config on Windows. IP config like that. So let me maximize this window. On Windows, you type in this. If you do a 5 more, you could see one screen at a time. You read the entire information here. And then if you see that this is the IP address, IP version 4 address. So I could have just get that information by doing this IP, and instead of this, I could say find a string and then say for address. Match the word address, and it will tell me some of the information. But the one that I'm interested in is the last one here. And so I could say IP version 4. Notice I type it exactly word by word for that one, because I'm clear the screen. I did find a string, but if I say /I, that would just match as many as this. Each one of these ones, they have one this. The one that I'm interested in is this one, not that one, dot this. So if I look at this one and I just say, okay, find the string, I could do that. And then if I just do another find 179, that would make it unique. Find, and then you have to put code in it. So you're looking for exactly a string that is like that, a clear string, and that would give you the IP version. So I am on that machine, but remember, you cannot remote this remote SSH to a Windows machine. So you have to use remote desktop, which means on the Windows machine, you have to enable remote desktop and then use Microsoft Terminal Console and then connect to it. So the SSH connection, now we made it between this machine and that machine. I'm gonna just exit out of this one also. And now I exit out of root also. If I just do a ID here and shows me I'm logged on, ID-UN, I'm logged on as my machine. And if I say who am I, it's gonna say I'm Wahid. Who is space am I? I don't get any remote terminal information. That means I'm local to the machine. So if I just say, okay, that's great, I am local to this machine. Now let's do this. Clear the screen, cat etc os dash, in other words, dash release, red app dash release. And then I am on that machine, and then IP a grep minus I, grep one, just 192 is good enough to get that one. So I'm on this IP address. We SSH to that machine. But now we only SSH, and I only open a couple of terminal. So this is one of them. I'm gonna exit out of this. And now I just clear a screen, say who again. It still shows 3 of them. I might have just started another terminal from another place. I'm going to just check it out to see. And oh yeah, this is my SSH is still established. The one this, because when you go through Bitwise is still connected. You can see here. I am still connected. So I'm going to log out of Bitwise here. And then now I type in the who command, and then still showing up here some connection. Maybe I have to check to see if any of these other window that I might have opened earlier. Yeah, it is right here. Another machine that I might have connect, and then host name, cat etc os dash release. So you can see, you can even SSH to the machine from the client side here. 192 I have connected here. So if I just go now, say who, I am logged on only locally, login screen. And if I just go back here again, on this session, I say SSH, notice this is says secure shell minus L login, and the login is Wahid. And I want to log into this IP address 192. Now I'm coming back again to the Red Hat machine. If I just connect again, remember I was telling you that once you install Bitwise, you get the secure shell daemon and secure shell client and everything. And notice that secure shell command is here by default. So any Windows command, when I go here and say clear screen now, let me just clear screen and cd dot dot clear screen, and then I say clear screen directly. So any files that I'm just looking at, if I just go to clear screen, what I was showing you here. Yeah, any Windows that you are opening a terminal, clear screen, if you type in SSH, that SSH software, it tells you that it is available for you. Why it is showing you available? Because the echo percentage path percentage tells you that secure shell software is in the path. So if I just do same thing with this copy also is showing me syntax of how I can use this copy. So this is telling you that the secure shell is available for you, right? And then it is in one of the path here. So if I want to know exactly the path, which one is it? Let me show you how you do that one. Clear screen. So the path command here, you can just send it to say p.text, and then notepad p.text. You just open it, and now you control plus. So this is bigger, and then maximize it here. Now, if you look at this one through Notepad, you might find it by eye glance, but it's much easier to say edit find and then type in secure. And if it is not there, let's see, Bitwise. Yeah, Bitwise software SSH client. So that is the path right here. It is saying that C program files get x86 Bitwise SSH. So you can also go on the file manager under your C drive, under program files. Let's see, C drive. I'm going to go to this PC, program files, and then the one that we found on the path, it says program files. Let me just do program files, Bitwise, program files, x86 Bitwise. So if you go back here and you want to just say where that program file is, go on this PC, click on the x86 here, and then Bitwise right here. That is the software that gave us this tool here. Sorry, I'm going a little bit too fast for searching. This is the tool, okay? That so this is the software Bitwise client SSH, and then one of the binaries called scopy, and another one is called SSH. So you can see the executable files for somewhere there. Scopy and SSH and secure FTP, and then other ones, they're all there. So when I type in the commands, it finds it there. Let me just close this one and then close this one. I don't need it. Delete that p.text. I don't need that file. And I exit this window. I am done with it. So here I just SSH to the machine. And if I just say cat etc red hat dash release, it tells me that it's 9.3. Notice here I can just do any commands that is valid on the one, right? Python dash dash version, GCC dash dash version. If the software is installed, you can run who am I, ID, cat etc, red hat dash release, uname dash A, df dash h, calendar 19070. So anything that you want to type in, those are valid Linux command. So if I want to go on the directory here, program files, and then I say, what if I want to just transfer some file from Windows to this Linux machine? So this is how you do this one. Now I know that this one, I have a directory called programs. And notice here I have all these files, ls-l. You can see this is a nice, the color is showing there. So I could say bin ls-l. And then and this one, when you type in /bin ls, you're just saying, don't show me the alias, because the alias ls is pointing to say color auto. Since the background is blue, if you just type in ls, you will see this blue. But in order to not say that alias don't take effect, you just provide the /bin ls. That's another trick that you can do, or an alias the ls. So you can do that one also, and say an alias ls, and now say ls, and it will just show that one. Depending on how you want to do it, it's doesn't matter. So that options are here. Now I do a listing. And then if I just do bin ls, it works now, or ls, it works now, because alias ls is not pointing to anything. But if I want to create another alias, say pi for Python, I could say just whenever I type in pi and just run Python. And that is similar to typing Python dash dash version. Alias pi is just created there. So alias is very nice way to just help you on Linux side or Unix side. That is the capability. But let me just show you one more thing here for the files. Since I just am on this directory, if you do a list, notice I have awkward programming, C++, JavaScript, Perl, Red Hat shells, and Python, Java, C++, all of them, Rust and Ruby. So I'm going to go to see Python what I have here. There are a lot of files here that I have for Python. You can see it is a list of them. But if I want to see all files with a /py, star.py, then I see that I have a number of them, and I could do a word count minus L. I have 12 of them. But I don't have a directory here called pasadena.edu. When I did this one, I don't have a directory pasadena.edu. Yet, when I was teaching Python programming and C, C++, Unix at pasadena.edu, I just created this directory. Let me just show you. MyWebUniversity.com, and then pasadena.edu. No, under programs, and then directory Pasadena. Yeah. So this is what I did at mywebuniversity.com under programs. I had taught everything that I taught for Pasadena and pasadena.edu. I just sorry, clear screen CD to pasadena.edu. Pasadena City College, where I taught all these courses, all of them start with CIS, Computer Information System. So I taught CIS 012 in the fall of 2020 and the spring of 2020. This was the Python programming class that was entirely dedicated for introduction to Python, which we covered about a lot of chapters with a very good book that I did on Python programming. And so the name of the book was Python for All, for everybody. And then in the summer, I taught that class for the winter. And then I also taught CS 040, which was shell scripting in Unix. And I also taught other courses that were C and C++, which are not listed on this one, maybe under another directory that I had, or because I did it all on Zoom, I might have added on a different machine, not on this one. So let me just show you on this one how you just transfer all the files from pasadena.edu. Notice there's a lot of files. So if I look directory star.py/s, there's a lot of them. And if I could say, just go on each one of them for the lectures and everything, directory star lectures, start, and then you can see if I do a /s, it will find the meaning as search for subdirectories. So if I just go and say, what if I want to just upload everything here? Okay, sorry for all the details. I'm just showing you right now how to do secure copy from this directory. I'm going to upload the entire directory of pasadena.edu to the Linux server. Okay, so in order to do that one, this is the Linux server where I am logged on. I'm not gonna just worry about this one. I'm gonna exit out of this one, and I will close this one. Here you have only one session logged on, and then I'm going to do a clear screen here, pwd ls. Notice there's no Pasadena directory here. So what I'm going to do is on this Windows machine, I'm going to just say scopy, and I press enter. Remember, this one is on the Bedwise software, that is the software in the path. So it says in order to use scopy, you need some flags, and whatever flags you provide, then it's gonna require a port number that you want to connect to, a source, and then a target. So in this case, the source is from Windows side, and the source is on pasadena.edu directory pasadena.edu. That directory, so scopy is the source is that. The target is the IP address of that machine, and then the path is this one. So now I need ID, sorry, I need ID-UN say Wahid is the username, and then IP A grep 192. I need this host name or IP address, and then I'm going to connect to through SSH. So now, in order to do that one, I just need to say SSH, not SSH actually, scopy. I'm going to say I'm going to put this one a little bit below this one so you can see both of them. You can say, okay, it's copy. I'm going to say -R. The flag -R means recursively all files in subdirectory of pasadena.edu and put it into with the username Wahid at hostname 192.168.254.192 and then /, what directory I want to put it. Remember I said, what is my print working directory? It says home Wahid programs. So I'm going to say home Wahid and then programs. The uppercase and lowercase really matter. On Linux, it's case sensitive, so you have to type it. On Windows, even though you type in Pasadena, lowercase, it will understand it. It will convert it to uppercase before it does the computation. So, and this dot means the destination, whatever the name is pasadena.edu, name the files and directories the same name that are on the local machine. So the secure copy command is secure copy -R recursively. The source is pasadena.edu folder, -R meaning recursively all the files and directories. And then the destination, use Wahid login at this IP address, at this path, and keep the current name. Now you type in your password and press enter. You type in your password, and the transfers are happening right in front of your eyes. So if I just maximize this window, you can see because it's a lot of files, all of them how fast it is transferred on the local machine. And it's in kilobytes, but the speed of the Wi-Fi is really fast enough for me. So it is done in a few seconds. Now you can see it's all done. Then on the destination, now if I say let's again, notice that Pasadena is added, pasadena.edu is added. So if I say disk usage -S pasadena.edu, then I know that this 612 megabyte was transferred to this machine. Now if I say let's -LD pasadena.edu, you can see that this file is ownership is Wahid because I logged in as Wahid and I transfer it. So I can do everything on this file. If I just go here, clear screen, notice that the files are here. So same files that if I go to, for example, CIS start fall start 2020, the same this directory that I am CIS. If I look at this one, it says that okay, I have one session that I taught this course on the fall. I taught 2 sessions, and this is another session. And then if I go to lectures, for example, lectures, you can see that all the courses, chapter by chapter, I taught it. So it is chapter 1 through chapter 13, or chapter 14 is the last one. And then for each of those ones, like chapter 1 through chapter 5 were basic Python programming. And then chapter maybe 6 through 8 was data structure, less tuple, data dictionaries, set, and strings, and all the other ones. So on chapter maybe other ones or object-oriented programming, class and objects and instance and data abstraction, polymorphism, encapsulation, data hiding, all of that one were covered under object-oriented, as well as some other chapter like regular expression in Python, how you do it. I might have done chapter 12, 13, 14 for the sake of students to learn a combination of Python with MySQL and databases and SQLite and text to speech recognition, a lot of advanced level also, so they could get ready to move on to their next class. But I'm also making a video for Python stuff, so please watch those ones. And then there's a number of videos on my channel for Python as well. And then I'm teaching a lot of them using some of these scripts here and explain it to them using PyCharm or Visual Studio Code or Jupyter Notebook or Jupyter Lab, and addition to Python like this, to get into Python and get the directory structure, and then use a for statement for num and range of let's say 100 print num times num. So you could just multiply them. And then since clear is not an OS command, you have to say import OS and say os.system and then clear screen that way. You could do a lot of things with these modules. So for example, if you say cat etc ssh underscore client underscore config, you can see the content of that file inside Python. And then at the same time, if you just say who's logged on the system, show me the root there. And then a number of ways you could do, say who show me the run level. I'm going to quit out of Python. I don't want to get into Python and start another course. I'm going to continue with the subject of SSH. I don't want you to be distracted. So we did SSH. Now we have already uploaded all of the files here. Okay, so another thing you could do is, for example, on this SSH, let's say I go on this client. Now, how you do the bedwise, there's a tools on it. You can even use the graphic to do download and upload here, but I'm not interested on the graphic part. I only want to do it from command line, so I can do it programmatically at any time. Well, I don't have to be in front of a GUI interface. I could just tell my script to do it on as a cron job or something. So let's just show you a directory here that let's say I go my default directory here, and I just want to say let's say pwd here, and I say I'm gonna just generate a temporary file here. Say it's a script copy me to Windows.txt. So I just want to download this one into the Windows. But in order to create this file, I just run the script command and I say create a file. So everything that I type in here will be written on that file. So if I say dev, clear the screen, calendar, who, and then IPA, and then calendar 1998. So anything that you do just doesn't matter. And this is just kind of quick things I do. And then if I say, okay, at this time, I'm going to exit out and say the script done. ls minus ltr. Remember that file, it shows that this is the file. These are the output of the content there. So I just created that copy star.txt, and notice the output of all the commands are written here. Everything that I type in, it is there. So if I say Okay, where's that one? It's on my home directory, ls-l copy star. Now I want to just download that file on my Windows. So the same way that I SSH, and this time it's copy. This time and it's copy. The source and destination is going to be different. So the source of this one is going to be. Let me just put it right here. I'm going to move this one right here. So at this time, even if I just go here and say, go to the temp directory, so there's not too much information there. I'm gonna just put on the temp. I don't have a file called copy here. See file not found. But if I clear my screen and say, it's copy Wahid at 192.168.192, 254, gateway, then 192, colon, and then put slash home Wahid slash a copy made to Windows dot text, and I just say dot. So this one, it says, use the secure copy, use the authentication for username Wahid at this IP address or at this host name, which is this Linux machine, to go to the home directory, Wahid, find a file called copy me to windows.txt, exactly as to be typed in. This dot means give it the same name when it is on the destination. Then it's gonna prompt me there. Now I just got the file. So that's a transfer from a Linux machine to a Windows file. So now if I say directory copy, now the file shows up here. Let me just show you that. And now this is on my host algorithm on a Windows machine. And as you can see, C prompt, or I could say system info, find string slash find, and then slash I, and then OS name. That will show that it's a Windows 11 host name. So I did download this file there. If I just want to open it, I use Notepad, copy, Windows to meet, press tab, and notice exactly the file is here. Sorry, I just click on the, don't save this, okay. I just have this one, copy. I'm gonna close this other one, copy this one, and then you can see it is all the detail there. Control plus, you can make it bigger. You can read all of it, and you can see. Clear command, everything that I did. The clear command output is captured on the script with those gibberish kind of things. Don't worry about those ones because clear command clear the screen. But exit and other ones are not meaningful except the actual commands and the calendar, for example, 1998, and then outputs are a gift. So this is how that file is. So I'm going to exit out of this, and then we did this one. Now I don't need the copy. I deleted, and now this directory is just a regular directory as I was. I can close this one also, and then we showed it between this one and the Unix server. Now I'm gonna show you between Linux and obviously between Windows and Solaris server, the same thing. You can do the same thing with that one. You just have to get the IP address of a Solaris machine. So let's look at the Solaris machine here. This is a Solaris machine that I am logged on here, another virtual machine. And so I'm going to log in here. Notice that user ID is Wahidullah in this case, which is actually Wahid on the machine, but the name itself is there. So ID-UN, it says Wahid, I'm logged on. Cat EDC release file. This is Solaris machine, so you have to do there's no such thing as Red Hat -release or something. It is Solaris machine 11, so EDC release file is going to tell you. If you do ls-l EDC star release, that They have also OS release, which is symbolic link to the other one. So if you do etc/os-release, that will also give you details of Solaris machine. So by doing etc release file, you get that much information, and by doing OS release, you get this much information. And they are both telling you that what is your OS, and the version is 11.4 and it's Sun OS. So you can also type in uname-a, we'll get the information there. And if you want to say uname-n for node name is my Solaris, uname-system name is Sun OS, and uname-m for machine type, and uname dash P for processor type. All of that details are there. Uname dash O is for OS name. So uname dash R would be the revision or build version, the kernel build 5.11 Sun OS operating system. Sun Solaris. Sun Solaris was acquired by Oracle. Oracle is maintaining it, and unfortunately, they don't support a lot of the things on the Python and other ones for compatibility versions, that they are not like maintaining all the software that was Python 2.27 and Python 3.6 was the latest one, the Python-V. You can see 2.27 is there, but Python 3-V is 3.5 is the latest Sun support. After that one, 3.9 and other ones are not there, so the extended support and other ones also changed from time to time. And I don't want to talk about it too much. I just don't like the idea that everything was just abandoned at some point. And a lot of the Oracle, Sun Microsystem developers lost their jobs. That was very rude. But moving forward, Oracle and virtual machine, everything is on the Oracle Spark architecture. Everything is also on the Oracle OVM stuff or Linux stuff. So there's a lot of good software with Oracle, Java, and Sun Solaris. Sun Solaris has a lot of proc file system, ZFS, and dynamic tracing that I really liked and I really enjoyed it. There was a process called pthread for taking care of the zombie process, defund process, and then strace and trace command and a lot of the other tools, proc file system were very useful. Strace is for Linux, but trace is for Solaris. And then P3, PS3, all of those on PWDX and all of those ones are very good on the proc file system. So let's talk about, again, back to the Linux server. So on this one, if I type in IPA, it's not going to work because that's a Linux command. fconfig -a will give you all the configuration, IP addresses, everything. Notice that this one, 192, the IP address 195, and it is net zero. So if I say fconfig net zero, that's the interface, you will see the IP address. And if I just clear my screen, do that one, and grep -i 190, grep 192, not -i, you can see that it's there. And if I just say again off print a $2, and then that would just give me the IP address. Remember that Linux machine were 192 address. So I could say SSH Wahid. Here's another syntax. You could say instead of -l, you could just shorten it to say Wahid at. So -l changes to at here. 192.168.254.192. So now I'm SSHing secure shell to the Linux server. So let's do that one, and I say type in my password. And now I say cat etc os-release, or just Red Hat dash release is short, so you can see the other window. Now I'm on a Linux machine. Unit dash A, it says I'm on a Linux machine. And who am I? It says that I just came in from 195 IP address from a Solaris machine to this machine there. And if I just say, okay, that's great, let's just keep this one, and I'm going to go to my Linux server here, and let me see if algorithm. This is the Linux server, so I'm gonna say so obviously, one important thing is no matter which files you want to transfer, the software secure shell or its copy and secure shell works for between all these machines. So from Linux to Unix, you can secure copy, or from Linux to Windows, or Windows to Linux, or Windows to Unix. So all of those ones, they have sources and destination. The source and destination for the S copy could be the same. But the secure shell, the source and destination is cannot be, the destination cannot be Windows. You cannot SSH to the Windows. You have to do remote desktop. But you can do S copy to the Windows, like I showed you earlier. So here I am now on the IPA and then grep 192. You can see I'm on the 192, and I'm on the Linux server, Red Hat dash release. And so I am on Linux server. I want to SSH to the Solaris machine from here. I can say SSH, and then Wahid was the username. At this time, I say 192.168.254 254.195. So I have to have a password on that Solaris machine in order to log in, and now I'm on the Solaris machine. Notice that as soon as I log in, I got the Oracle Corporation from message of the day, and then ls minus l etc message of the day. And that file, etc message of that day, is telling me that it's Oracle Corporation. So I logged on to the Solaris machine SunOS. If I say uname dash A, it will tell me that I'm on the Sun Solaris. If I say cat edc release file, it tells me that I'm on Sun Solaris machine. Again, the OS dash release here also, OS dash release will tell you the detail. So if I say who am I, notice that I'm coming from 192 from the Linux machine. PS minus EF grep minus I SSH. You can see all the connection that I SSH from 192 IP address, and this is the process ID of that one. When I exit out of this session, this process ID will go away. I can just also on the Linux machine, if I have root, I can just kill that session. That session will also go. If somebody called you, say my SSH client has hang up, can you kill the process? You have to identify the process, then you do a pkill on that session, or kill -9 and then the process ID. There's a lot of ways I have shown you on other stuff. I'm going to continue with this one. A lot of the security software people, when they take cybersecurity, they have no idea about all these port configuration and how the IP address ports are there, how the network configurations are, how the Unix security softwares are. They have no idea of what is cross-site scripting mean, or what is that, and yet they say, oh, I was just hired for cybersecurity, and when the hacker talks about it, they just may release some information, or just be in a panic mode because the detail of the code is unknown to them. So if you're a developer, gotta know these things in and out. Once you know in and out, when people try to tell you that the software broke because of XYZ, you can trace it. You can run these two commands that I was just telling you about a trace or a strace or a preep or other commands. All of those ones will give you a lot of tools to just be on the to control everything. So you can just do it. But no matter how much knowledge you have or I have, it is not enough. Don't be cocky about it, but try to learn and help others. And by learning and sharing information, everybody becomes powerful. We say knowledge is power, but by sharing it, you makes everybody powerful. And by sharing, you care. Sharing is caring. So let's get back to this machine. We have who am I? I logged on and then I just came in from that IP address. So I'm going to just exit out of this one. And now I say, who am I? I'm local to this machine. And then now my machine is a Red Hat version. So I'm on the Red Hat. So now I go back to the Solaris machine. On the Solaris machine, and if you just look at the Solaris, this time I'm going to show you, for example, ID here. I logged on as who am I? I logged on the Red Hat machine. With this IP from this IP address of Solaris. So notice that this is a Red Hat machine, right? Uname -A is also showing you this. PWD is there. So remember on the programs here, I just created the Pasadena directories, right? So now I have it here, and this is the IP address of this one is the 192, and this is the print working directory, Pasadena.edu. I'm sorry. I need to do that one more time, PWD, and then cat etc Red Hat -release. So we have that information. Now I say ls minus ld. LD meaning don't show me the content of the file, only show me the directory level. ls minus ld pasadena.edu. Yeah, so I mistyped it the first time here on this one. Ignore that one, and I'm just going to show you this. This is more clear. PWD ID grep minus I grep 192 195 actually 195 not ID. Let's just do this one more time. PWD IP A grep 192. I was typing ID rather than IP. Okay, that's a typo. So here we corrected it, and now we're who is logged on? Am I? I'm logged on as Wahid. But in order for me to just download this Pasadena, since it's on this one, let's get out of this one. And now I'm back on the Solaris. If I say cat, actually uname -A, that is Sun Solaris. So I'm on the Sun Solaris. At this time, I'm on this directory. I want to just download everything and the program files Pasadena. So let's do this one. I say scopy -R, and then Wahid at 192.168.254.192. That's the Linux server. I want to do it from home, Wahid, programs, and then the name of the directory is called Pasadena, pasadena.edu. And then I want to just name it the same thing here. Then I just type it. And notice how fast it comes in. So the source and destination is the only thing that you have to worry about. Saying that, okay, if I want to from one source to another one, you just do that one. And notice here, it is all good. Now, I have downloaded, and now I have the pasadena.edu and then this. So all the files are there. Remember, it was about some gigabyte. This uses minus a megabyte. Pasadena, and you can see that it's 627 meg. On the other server, the same thing. So now if I go to pasadena.edu and then it's ls minus ld cis star, same kind of directory, I see that. All of that information is there. And if you want to just look at one of them, for example, cis star fall star 2020, and then here, let's say, go to lectures and go to chapter 1 through 5, clear screen, and then if I just want to show you this, notice that if I say star.py, show me anything with pi, let's say the while example underscore 1.demo. If I say cat minus n while start the example.demo, that is the program. And Python is compatible with this, but then since it's not the right version, if it is for Python version 3, you have to run Python 3 against it, and if it's Python version 2.27, you have to run Python 2.7. That's a different subject. You have to watch my videos for Python. I'm going to just expect that this is all I had. And from the Linux server, you can also, from Solaris, you can just copy it to Linux server the same way that we did here. So if you just want to do it the other way, I'll show you that one quickly as well. So here I do a PWD, and let's say I just create a file, clear screen, and then I just say, let's copy, no, I'm gonna create a quick file here, say vim. I could also capture the screen, say test demo as copy, for example, .text. So I say host name, and then date, calendar, and then cat etc os-release, and then that's good enough, or cat etc release file, and then sbcs minus a, all the processes. I'm going to exit out, and then I capture that information. So I named it .text here, demo1.text. So if I want to just copy from export home Wahid, demo1.iscopy into my Windows machine, for example, let's just open a iscop command prompt here, and we do the same thing on Windows. Now, between Windows and Unix machine, you do cd to the temp directory here, cd to temp, clear screen, and then I say is copy Wahid at 192.168.254.195, which is the Solaris machine name, and /export/home/Wahid. File name and is called demo1 is copy.text, and I wanted the same name. Do more on it. Type in the password, and now the file is there. I just say directory demo1 star, and that's the file. Now I say notepad, notepad demo1 is copy.text, and that's the file. And I'm going to make it bigger so you can see I started the script today on December 10 at 2:29 Pacific Standard Time, and then the OS name is MySolaris, and then you can see the calendar command I run, the cat etc OS release. Here's the output of Sun Solaris, Oracle Solaris 11.4, and all the detail is the SVC ADM command, SVCS -A, and shows all the services. It's called Solaris service management facility. By the way, I was Solaris 9 certified in 2003. And then I used and did a lot of mentoring and everything for Sun microsystem hardware and software, especially in the Spark architecture. I trained a lot of the admin, junior, even senior admins for the Solaris platform. And for a NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, I made a lot of successful installation on Solaris configuration project that were based on the Solaris. DocShare was one of the main application that we support for Mars O3 Dash Lab, Mars MSL, Mars Science Laboratory, Charlie Dash Lab, Software Dash Lab, Alpha, Bravo, Zulu, Delta, Pub, a lot of the servers that I just configured. I built all their servers, and then eventually I migrated from Solaris to Linux, and now we're hosting it on Linux platform. But Solaris is great, and Linux is also great. So let's just see what else we could do. We did the same file. Now let's see if we do the same file, transferring it on a Linux machine. So since I'm on Linux machine here, I'm going to log in again on the screen. Saver kicked in every now and then, so I will log in. Okay, now I'm on the Linux machine OS dash release. You can see it is there. I'm gonna go to this directory of my default, and I'm gonna do scopy minus. I don't have to say minus because minus R is only one file, so I don't have to say recursively. And then 192.168.254 and .195. That's the IP address, and export home Wahid. And then the file name, I believe, was demo1 is copy.txt. We want to just give it the same name. If the file doesn't exist, I have to recheck the name. But if it is okay, as long as I type in the login password correctly, and the file gets downloaded. And now the file demo one is copy.txt is here. So if I just say vim and demo one is copy.txt, you can see it is a Solaris file. Notice that since the files were having control M's, that's the control M characters, or like new line characters. Let me show you one more thing on this file. Clear screen. When you do cat command by line number, you will see, but there's no control M characters. Those are invisible characters. In order to see that one with the cat command, you type in minus EN, EA for everything. You see that control characters, E for all, everything, and A for all. It will show all the invisible characters as well. You can also get that information from octal dump. So instead of cat, you can say cat octal dump minus C for character, and you can see that the control M characters are new line characters. So all the new line characters, there's one new line character, and then this is control M characters, or translated that way. So depending on the tool that you use, they are interpreted differently. If I just want to get rid of that one, I show you a trick. Software that on the old days, there was a tool called DOS to Unix or Unix to DOS. It converts it between each other. So you could use those two utility, either DOS to Unix, DOS the number 2 Unix, or Unix number 2 DOS, Unix to DOS. But I know the trick here. So I could say ls minus ld demo, and if I say vim demo1 is copy.txt, now I know the set command to translate it from the vim, and I could have done that one using the set from the command line as well. So all these new line character, I want to show you that they are there, and then in order to get rid of them, you could say one comma $, substitute from line 1 through the end. Or you could say percentage, that would be the same thing, 1 through $. So I'm going to say 1 through the, from line 1 through the end, do substitute. And I want to say everywhere you have this character that I type in, whatever I say, the starting string of the replacement, I have to use that character again. If I use the brace, I have to use the brace. If I use slash, I have to use slash again. So I'm going to use that one. I'm going to say I press Control V together and then Control M the next. When you type in Control V, Control M, that character is being typed in for you. Now I say, okay, and this is the syntax, substitute Control M to nothing. This is meaning that empty. This left parenthesis, then a left bracket, and then you say G means globally. Now it changed all of them there. So if I say set list, you Control M characters are gone, only the $ are shown, which is the end of line character. Now this, as if you run the DOS to Unix, you save it. Now if I run the octal-dump command, earlier we were seeing 2 new line character, now we should see 1. See, everywhere that is there, there's no duplicate. The other one was for Control M characters. So everywhere that you see new line character, there's no second one next to it. And then if you just do the same thing with the command with the cat command -EA, you could see that there's only $, not this. This command also show you tab delimiters and as well as new line characters. And then again with the vim demo file, you could see by default it doesn't show. If you just do set list, then it will just show the file with the new line character. So if I just say 1 comma $, and let's say delete, this delete all of them. Now I say this is a test, enter, this is a new line, enter. And now I'm going to say this is tab. I'm going to say tab and then do another tab, and then more tab, and then press enter. Notice that since I have the set list enabled, if I say no list, the spaces will be shown here, no tab, new line will not be shown. So you do set list in order to see the delimiters. So if I save the same file here now, the content of that file changed. Now notice this one octal-dump is gonna show a tab with /t's. And then the new line character is just a new line character /n. At the same time, cat -en, cat -ea will show you that Control I is the tab, similar to the way that was showing on VI. So different utility, octal-dump is showing /t as backspace and $, /n as backspace. But with cat command and other ones, you see Control I or $. So depend on which tool you use, vim or octal-dump or this. Okay, and now I don't need this file, so that's why I modified. I said demo1 is copied, just remove it. I removed it, and I am on this directory. I'm going to exit out of this session. I'm back on my Linux server, and then since I open it for demo, I can log out or shut down everything. I could just do that one. Let me just show you how you can do this. You can also type in the command here. Sorry, let me just make this one bigger. You can type in shutdown -h now, or since you're on a virtual machine, you could just say log out. You log out first. It is safe to log out since I don't need this Linux machine anymore. And then at this time, I can log in back as one of the users, or I could power it off. When you power it off, this process will be released. The system will have more resources as the host operating system. So on the Solaris machine, I'm going to do the same thing. And then I say, and notice here, you have the option to log out and do this one. Or you could just say shutdown minus I in the init level. You could shut down minus I0, meaning that level to power it off, or minus I5 if the machine has the hardware embedded in the processors to say you can power it off, you could do that also. And then minus grace period, 0 meaning don't prompt me for another 30-second wait time or something. But you have to be root in order to do that one. So you have to do either sudo or log in as root and shut down. Since this is a virtual machine, I could just log out here and say log out. And then that would gracefully log it out. And then once you are done with it, it will just, you can power it off. Right now, it is coming to the login session. So I click on here and then just say, let's see. Yeah, this thing is a little bit slow or not showing up. Okay, so since the virtual machine prompt is not coming, I'm going to log in one more time and do it from the command line. You can also double click in here and say power off. You can just do it that way, but it's safer to shut down from the operating system also. So do dash. I'm gonna become root first. ID that when I'm root now, I say shut down minus G0, grace period 0 minus I 5. And then I say, yeah, go ahead, shut it down, change to the state 5. And that will power it off. And it's gonna take a few seconds or to a few, less than a few minutes. Well, right now it is in the progress. Since all the processor is stopped, and if you don't have time, it says the system is coming down and it should be down. You can also look at the VM here. Since it says it's still running, you can wait or just shut it down from the virtual machine or just wait for this one. I don't know how long it's gonna take. It usually should be fast. So I'm gonna just go back to the process. I'm gonna do Control C out of this. Control C, it's too late now. It is just taking a while. So the minus I5 could have not have the option. You could have done minus I0 and at level 0 and that would power it off. And I could just say power off here by double clicking on it and then that would just force it. And now it is power off. Let's just try one more time logging in back to make sure that it didn't corrupt anything. Because when you shut down with power off, it should power it off successfully. And it did it. So I'm logging in again. This time I use minus I5. And instead of I5 at level 5, I do it at level 0 to see on the virtual machine if it does it. On the Solaris machine, normally when we do it with the I5 option because that one the hardware has the capability to power it off. And we were doing it from I long or I low. which is integrated light-out management console. At the OK prompt, you are getting the firmware is the OK prompt on the Solaris machine. But there's a lot of commands there we used to do for firmware upgrade and all the OS kernel build or patches. So let's just close this one, and then at this time it's logging in. I'm just testing the minus I5 versus I0 option for the virtual machine to see how it works. So I'm going to log into as WYE. And notice that when I did it with the virtual machine, also the option for power off was not there, except you had to click here. So let's see if we can become root again here. We say sudo su dash and become root. Type in the sudo privilege. Now ID dash UN is root. I say shutdown minus grace period 0 minus I0 and at level 0. And then says Sunday, this one, do you want to shut down? It says yes. And then I say, let's see it, this going through the same level, this Solaris has about 8 different run level. 0 is power off the machine. 5 is also if the system supports it, and at level 0 and 5 is for that one. And at level 1 and S and 1 is for single user mode. 2 is for multi-user mode. 3 is for NFS, multi-user plus NFS. 4 is not used, and 5 is for shutdown if the system supports it. Again, this is going through the same sequence of a step, and now this time it says a little bit more than says killing process, shut down 48 seconds. So it takes about 48 seconds. Maybe on the other one, I didn't wait 48 seconds, but it is still now safe to power it off. System is halted, so at this time, when you get this message, system is halted, and the 48 second, we could wait, or you could just click here if you don't want to wait another few seconds. It says system, it's okay to power it off. So at this time, it is safe. You just click here, say power off, and then now it's power on. And when it is power off, if you go back to the command prompt here and say system info, find a string /I, and then look for memory, and then you could see that one. Let me just make this screen bigger, and then clear the screen, and then run this command. You can see that now there's more resources available. The virtual memory available was 10 because we had 2 virtual machine were running. Now it's 26 gig is available. So I can just run another virtual machine or run multiple of them and do whatever I want to do with it. Okay, so that is all it is within this session. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please go to our channel and make sure that you subscribe and watch the videos and enjoy it and share it with your friends and loved ones. And by learning yourself, try to pass on the knowledge to others. Take care. God bless you all. Bye-bye.